Hi, I'm Linda. Welcome back. Today I finished up a Northern Light painting. I haven't done one in a very long time, so I thought I'd give it a try again. A lot of thought process went into my color selection. My goal was to get that perfect green that I witnessed in the sky years ago when I saw the Northern Lights. I still haven't quite hit the mark yet, but I really like this one. It's got a swirl to it, beautiful reflections in the water. I think you're going to really like doing this one. So get your paints out and follow me. So let's get started. So here are the oil paints I used. Liquid Clear, Bob Ross, Artist Loft Oils, Titanium White, Lamp Black, Phthalo Blue Violet, Phthalo Green, Green Light, Newton Winton Oils, Sap Green, and Cad Yellow Pale Hue. And I have started out with a black canvas. It's pre-made. You can also do yours in black gesso or black acrylic and let it dry. And I've taken a piece of electrical tape and I cut it in half. I made a real thin strip and put it right about the horizon line. It's 4.5 inches from the bottom up. And secure that as best you can. So I'm going into liquid clear. I'm going to put a little bit on my brush. I got a 1 inch there, and I'm just going to hold the tape down with my fingers so it doesn't lift up because I didn't want I want to know what the horizon line is on that. And I'm just going to do the whole thing, the whole canvas in this liquid clear. And then afterwards, I'm going to take a blue shop towel, fold it in half and half again, and just go over the top and take off the excess oil. Because you don't want a lot of oil on there. You just want it just enough to make it slippery. So now I'm going into a clean 1 inch, just a little bit of phthalo blue, not a lot. You don't need a lot of paint here. And I'm just going to do right hand corner there, just little X strokes, just here and there. That there is going to be kind of a blue area. Kind of work my way a little bit in the center, but not totally. And I'll have two brushes going. I've got another brush that I'm using the phthalo green in, and I'm going to go right above the horizon line, and then a little bit to the left, more going inward to the center. But that area is going to be a little bit greener. So I'm just taking my time, putting in some colors there. Going back into the phthalo blue. I'm going to do a little bit on the left side. Just here and there. You don't have to coat that whole canvas. Just little streaks here and there. Then I'm going to go down into the water right below that line and do a little bit on one side, not totally in the center, but just a little bit on the side, on each side, brushing inward. And I'm back in the phthalo blue. I'm going to put a little more on the top there, just a little bit. Felt I needed a little more blue up there. And a little more green in the center. More in the center. But right in the middle is going to be your moonlight. So kind of work around that. Kind of visualize where your moon is going to be. All right, so I'm taking my finger. I'm going into a little green light and a touch of yellow and a touch of white. I'm going to make just a real small moon right about center. Just a little tiny circle. And I'm going to go into that same color with a clean 1 inch with a green light, a little yellow on it. And I go underneath the tape line. Just tap it real lightly. You don't need a lot of paint. I'm just going to come down into the water. And I always tap my brush because you don't want to contaminate it with the blues that I put in there. So I want it pretty clean. Now, I won't go all the way down. It's right at the bottom line there. I'm going to have some Algrasses that's going to come up, land. So now I'm taking a real soft brush. It's kind of like a blender brush, but it's a little smaller, almost like a makeup brush, but it doesn't lose its hair. It's just a very soft brush that I'm smoothing everything out with. And I took the tape off, and I've got a liner. Then you go right along where that tape was, right on the horizon line. Just ever so carefully, and touching up the moon area there. And I'm making starting my the pattern of how I want my light rays. And it's going to be like a circle. It's going to be like a tunnel effect. So I've got a liner there, and I'm just gently pulling out a little bit and going around. See how I put that kind of like a circle around that? I'm taking my soft little brush, I'm lifting up real softly. And if that doesn't work, use a shorter hairbrush and just gently bring those light rays straight up. You don't have to press hard, it's just real gentle motions upward. Now I'm continuing around with that same lime green, making kind of a circle around the moon. Taking a smaller brush, just kind of lift up just a little bit on those edges, just to give it some little rays that are coming upward. Same color, yellow with a little bit of that green light. Almost a lemony, and I even dipped in a little bit of white too. So I want it fairly bright. And I'm going to start making my light rays. And I start out rather slow on this because I don't want some heavy lines just yet. It's just kind of, I don't know, green light background noise kind of. Because once I buff those out and pull up on those, it's just going to be kind of a background green glow is what I'm after. So I won't go real super heavy on the first. And I'll take my soft brush, just lightly push up a little bit, just a little bit. And you'll see them starting to form. Put a little heavier line there, brush up. And sometimes I use a fan brush if that works for you. Otherwise, that soft brush really works nice too. A little heavier lines coming in there. And it's picking up the greens, and it'll be picking up some blues there. Just shaping my light rays. I'm going to be arcing up, pulling up, and I always tap on a clean napkin there. And you get that nice, clean, upward brush motion. Dipping into that lime green again and putting a little extra line there. Okay, I'm going into some yellow and white, really bright. And I've got quite a bit on that brush, making it a little bit heavier. And just kind of squiggling upward. I'm going to use my soft brush on this, just gently pull up. Tap it off, pull it up. Because you don't want to contaminate your brush with the blues and greens that I have on the canvas. That gives it a nice clean look, soft look. And put another heavier line in there. It's going to be picking up more of the blues that are in there. Same brush, lift up. Now that is picking up the greens. Just work your way up. Try not to get any below that line. Just keep it steady. So I'm perfecting that green line there a little bit. I'm adding some white. I'm going to pull up so it's not quite so green. I may add some more yellow in there and really pull up on those. See how pretty that looks? So now I'm working on my swirl there. My little funnel effect. I don't know how good it is, but I think it'll look pretty good. I'm taking a small brush and lifting up there because I don't want the light rays to interfere with the one above it. And bringing that line down around, you can create whatever light lines you want. Light rays, it's up to you. But I know I kind of wanted it to go one sweeping motion upward. And I'm going to have this blue area on the right, which will be picking up some really pretty blues. Using a fan brush there. See how pretty that is? I'm just going to go all the way, not to the top, but I'm going to really make that look pretty. I'm going to add some yellow in here. I thought it was just a little bit dull. I'm going to bring in some yellow that'll hit with the green and just lift up again. I'm going to put some streaks in the sky. Just, kind of here and there, different, something a little different. Then I'm going to take my soft brush and just blend it upward. May put a couple more in there. Just gives it a little interest, And you just make it your own. Put adding a little more white in there. All right. Got the tail coming off of that tunnel. Pulling up a little bit there. And I'm going to bring that over to match the other side. A little bit of yellow in there. Get a little bit thicker. And you can play around with these light strings. So you get it where you like it. So I'm going to put a black mountain way in the distance. And it's going to come right underneath the center of the moon. I'm gonna bring that little mountain up, start at the horizon line and just gradually come up so the light looks like it's coming from behind too, from behind that mountain. Using a smaller brush because I want the mountain to come right up, almost touching that. And then once I get it the way I like it, then I will fill it in. See how it's coming together? I'm going to fill that all in. Be careful not to go below the horizon line. I am going to extend a little land on the other side out just a little bit. I'm gonna leave some of that green light that's reflecting on that shoreline. I'm gonna leave that. That's kind of pretty. So now I'm putting a little more of that green, white, and yellow, touch of white, about maybe half an inch, 3/4 inch up. Don't want it to go all the way down because I'm going to have some little grasses. That's going to be a little landmass right there in front. So I've got a little liner brush, small one, and I got it dipped in some black, and I put a little thinner on the black so it's not real thick paint. It's, a thinner paint. And I'm just going to lift up gently and flick up some little grasses. And then you'll see the tips of them in uh, the moonlight there. Just be able to see a little bit of the shoreline land line there. And then I'm going to work in a little bit of highlight there in the dirt, in the where the grasses are, just a little bit of moonlight on that's going to hit that. Okay, I've got my fan brush there, dipping it in some white. And I'm going to add some stars. I'm going to flick the end of that brush, some little stars in the sky. And then if you have any extra spatters, just take a little bit of the dark, say a little green and black, and just dot them out. You can just take those little white dots out of your land. Keep them up in the sky, anywhere where you see you might have spattered. So I'm going to take my palette knife and I'm going to, without putting anything on my palette knife, I'm going to touch over a little bit of some of those dots. There's enough paint on the dots that you can make like a little star out of it. If you go upward and then across, you can make maybe a little cross type star up there. Well, I really enjoyed this one. I think I see pretty much a finished painting here. So until next time, happy painting and God bless.